Spike here, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Colossalcon 2017. We got back Sunday evening-ish. We had to be back a little bit early because I had to, I had a meeting with my teammates for a project that we're working on in school that night. So I actually just got out of another one not too long ago. It is now 3:30 in the morning. I still have to edit this video and get it up for tomorrow. Or today, I guess, for you guys. It would be Wednesday. But yeah, so let's talk about Colossalcon. Kind of a recap of the whole trip. So, I was working on, let's see, I had a meeting with my teammates for the class, for this full sail class, and kind of building functional groups kind of thing. We're working on a project that I don't want to talk about right now because I might end up posting it if I get permission from my teammates, and you guys will be able to see it. But I was working on that as well as other assignments for the class until close to 4 or 5 in the morning. Then, of course, I was watching some YouTube stuff, playing a game or something. A lot later than I should have been because I had to be up around 7:30. So Thursday morning, got up at about 7 o'clock, running on like 2-3 hours of sleep. Take a shower, pack up whatever I needed to, and I run to my grandma's to pick up my cousin, Kitty, and I went to Nick's house to get him. I had to wake his ass up, of course, and then we left. I was vlogging a little bit. Obviously, you guys didn't see the vlog. I didn't end up finishing the vlog. I just didn't get around to it. I wish I did, and I procrastinated on it, didn't film anything, and I regret not filming anything. But there's always next year, there's always Youmacon, assuming I'm going this year. Seeing how it's only about an hour from my house, I should. So we got to the Kalahari on Thursday afternoon. Let's see. We got to Kalahari around 2 o'clock, 1:30 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and went straight to the Kalahari to find the registration line. We did not pre-register, so we were expecting to wait in line for like an hour or so. There was no door registration line. There was a line for pre-registration, so anyone that pre-registered had to wait in line. Our registration line, which was the door registration, so we were registering at the door, all we had to do was fill out a little sheet, turn it in. There was no line. This took like 10 seconds. We handed the money and the paper over to the guy at the counter and immediately got our badge. Took like 10 seconds, 20 seconds or so. We got extremely lucky. I don't think that ever happens. Anyway, after that, we met up with our hotel group, and we had decided that we were gonna go to the water park on Thursday. Kind of do that as we settle in for the trip. I didn't end up doing the pool. I got my wristband, I bought my cousin's wristband, and we ended up just not going. Sounds pretty stupid. But I don't know, I wasn't feeling the water park all of a sudden, and so I just decided, you know what, we'll just make sure that everybody has their stuff when they need it. All the people in our group. So I took all of their stuff back to my car, walked around a little bit, and then went back when they needed their stuff. And that was pretty much the most part of what happened Thursday, other than Thursday night. I think I was just getting claustrophobic, just with it being, we were in a room, kind of a cramped room, and all of a sudden I just started getting claustrophobic and had a pretty serious panic attack. I ended up getting another hotel room. Don't really want to talk about it. I'll talk about that in another video maybe. I sort of had yeah, I just kind of had the worst panic attacks since I left my parents' house, which I will talk about that night another time. That's not a time for now, but I will say that it was probably one of the worst nights of my life. But like I said, that's a different video. We're talking about happy stuff. We're talking about the con. Now, let's see. So that pretty much wraps up Thursday. So Friday night was when I had the Taylor Davis concert. Went to that. It was phenomenal. I got there a little bit late, but either way, it was phenomenal. I tweeted at Taylor Davis and said, hey, concert was really great. She replied to the tweet. It was pretty awesome. Let's see, what else happened the first couple days? Oh, my cousin, Kat, was dressed up as Marilyn Monroe, and apparently fucking Flash Gordon approached her and started talking to her. Kind of feel ashamed that I don't know his real name. Oh, Sam J. Jones. Sam J. Jones approached her, and she gave him her business card. Then the same thing happened when we met Jake the Snake, the wrestler. Ooh, speaking of other celebrities, the voice of Axel from Kingdom Hearts 2 and the whatever other games he's in. What was his name? I feel like I should know this stuff before I open it. Oh, Quentin Flynn. Quentin Flynn played Axel. So we met him, and he's super nice. Unfortunately, I didn't have the money to get an autograph or anything like that, but I shook his hand. You know, I told him that I absolutely loved Axel, and he's a super nice guy. But yeah, those are pretty much all the celebrities that we kind of met. I got to meet the Dorito Pope. He's a pretty cool dude. I didn't really meet him. I got a picture with him and stuff. But okay, so let's talk about some funny stories that happened at the con. Now, Nick is very unpredictable when it comes to his Deadpool costume, and he'll probably talk about this in a vlog if he films one for the Colossalcon stuff. But on Sunday, it was on Sunday, we were at the flea market before we ended up leaving. He asked one of the tables, so one of the table runners or whatever, or one of the salespeople there, if they would accept twerking as currency. You heard that right. He asked if they would accept twerking as currency. What ended up happening was they just kind of said, well, it depends on what you want. So he's thinking, oh, so there's a chance. So he looks at an item, I don't remember what it was, pointed to one, and they said, sure, go for it. So he does it. He twerked in front of a flea market table and got a free item. This, of course, just posed as more encouragement. So what did he do? Went around the entire fucking flea market and twerked at every goddamn table and got probably $25 to $50 worth of free shit in one bag just from that. And even got me a discount on Assassin's Creed comics. That's probably the highlight of the entire trip. That was hilarious. Nothing else really interesting happened. It was just a typical con. It was nice. We ran into some cool costumes. There was a really sweet Darth Maul guy. Someone dressed as Darth Maul. But it was such a well done costume. I did manage to find an Aloy, and it inspired me. I do want to continue with Horizon Zero Dawn, but I didn't really have much to say other than I'm sorry that I didn't vlog the trip. I meant to. I vlogged the road trip there, and that was about it. I'm trying to think what else happened. We went to this event called Whose Line Is It Anime, and it was basically Whose Line, and it was an 18+ panel, so pretty much anything could go. And one of the guys in the panel wouldn't stop taking his pants off. So he took his pants off, and he's just wearing these, I want to say it was like Super Mario, Nintendo, boxers. But it was so funny. If you guys ever get a chance to go, please go. It's so fun. But I've been recording this video for almost 15 minutes, and I need to cut it down to about 6 or 8. So I'm going to have to cut this video in half if I can. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all the stories I had. Oh, Nick and I went to the, oh man, do I have a story actually. So on Saturday night, Nick and I went to an 18+ panel Tea Time with Deadpool. Fucking hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. But when we got out, we were waiting for another person in our group to get done with a panel that he was in, so Nick and I just kind of wandered around. And keep in mind, this was 2:33 in the morning, because the panel started at like 1 o'clock in the morning and didn't get out until 3 a.m. It ended up getting out about 2:30 a.m., but we were wandering around Kalahari at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. Colossalcon After Hours is something that any of you guys just need to experience once. We ran into someone dressed as Wilfred the dog, I think. So he was just dressed in this big dog costume, absolutely obliterated, and carrying around a teddy bear and asking us, now this is not safe for work, keep in mind, so turn the volume down if you need to. He kept asking if we would mouth fuck Teddy. So this guy was absolutely obliterated. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, Kalahari. There were people passed out in couches around the convention center. There were people who were just... It was totally empty, except for some trash on the floor and people passed out in couches or on the floor. It was crazy. That was just a really, really funny thing. And he would not leave us alone. He kept following... he and another guy were, yelling around... They were in a good mood, but, yeah, that was crazy. Kept wanting us to mouth fuck Teddy. Those were his words. And I think that pretty much wrapped up Saturday. That was a late night. I didn't end up getting back to my hotel, until, oh my god, what time was it? It was, probably 4 o'clock in the morning. And I couldn't find a parking spot. There was a motorcycle thing going on at the same time, and that was being hosted at the hotel I was at. So I couldn't find any parking. I was driving around my hotel parking lot until 4 o'clock in the morning before I discovered that there was an area that I didn't even go to, and there was a bunch of parking spots open there. I finally found a parking spot, went back inside, and passed right out. And then the next day, Kat stayed at our hotel and just kind of hung around in the pool. She was tired, so she waited there. I checked out and went back to Kalahari to hang out with people, hang out at the flea market. That's when the twerking incident happened. I think that pretty much wraps up Colossalcon. Sorry, this is not a very coherent conversation. I'm just kind of ranting about it, talking about it. I'll chop this down a little, because I've already been recording for almost 20 minutes. I'll chop this down to 8 minutes or something if I can. I think that wraps it up. Really quickly, I will have more Horizon Zero Dawn. After I saw Aloy at the con, I was like, you know what? I haven't recorded Horizon in a while. I want to do that. I love that game. Just haven't been getting around to playing it. But I am going to do that. Either for Friday or sometime next week. I do want to get back into that. I am going to have a gaming video up Friday. I ran out for today, so I figured I'd do the post-con stuff. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. So, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell so that you know when my next video gets posted, which will be on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. And until next time, big slice out.